I took like a 2-day break and YouTube was like,
no, you're not allowed. You work for us now.
But today we're back on NFS Heat because we are going to be comparing suspension. Or as I like to call it, sus. Today we are going to be comparing the stock suspension, the Pro Race suspension, Pro On-Road, and then the Pro and Super Track variants. Before we go and get into this, I want to say thank you to everyone that came to the Undefeated Racing League yesterday. Don't worry if you missed it, highlights will be up on the channel very, very shortly. It went really well. Thanks to everyone that came, it was fucking fantastic. Let's go ahead and talk about sus. So we have stock, race, on-road, track, and track super. I have absolutely no clue which one is the best. Very similar to the last video, I haven't actually tested any of these. I've typically just used track. If you enjoy this, find this review useful, make sure to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. So as usual, we are at Rare Bear and we're going to set a time in the stock suspension first. If you haven't seen the other episodes where we go through the tires and all that other stuff, I will leave them down in the description, but please watch this video first. They are linked anyway, they are interconnected. So stock suspension, how does this feel in the R32? Now, as I've told you guys previously, the R32, it's not a very good car in this game, understeers quite a lot, but what I will say is that it's progressively actually getting quite alright. What I will say about the stock suspension is it just kind of feels a little bit floaty, but I've got nothing to compare it to, so I'm not going to compare it to. I've only got track suspension to compare it to, and track suspension is much better than this. This one is going to be a learning experience for both me and you. So go ahead and grab your books, go to page 4, suspension guide and tuning. Get ready, class, because we are going to learn. I got the itchy nose. Now, this was kind of a very laid-back lap, to be honest. I haven't been sitting here sweating. You know, we're casually gaming today. It's a Saturday. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. It's almost Christmas.
Oh, ho, ho. Merry Christmas to all of you.
So we set a time of a 309.02. I need to write that down in the book before it disappears. Right, with our benchmark time now set, I'm going to go ahead and slap that in there. We're going to go ahead and go to the performance tuning and try out, which one do we want to try out next? So we're going to do this in order, I think. I think that makes the most sense. So we're going to go try race next. I have no clue if race is going to be better than on-road, if on-road is going to be better than pro track, what the order is. I don't know what the order is. From memory, I believe race tires were the best tires, but the diffs was track pro. Obviously, this is going to depend from car to car. I mentioned this in previous episodes, but I will give you recommendations for your car at the end of this video. Look at the crowds of people here to watch the Super Streets. I just said Super Street. Now, immediately, how does this feel?
Feels pretty good.
Cars moving around a little bit more. It's not as, you know, kind of limited in the range of movement. But I think all of that is a given, you know, considering that it's race suspension and not stock. But again, I don't have much to compare it to, so I'm going to save my judgments till after I have the results. Wow, this is very, very fast. This is moving rapid. We're already at 200. Coming down the back straight. Coming in with a 204 into the final lap. That's one thing that I feel like this game was kind of returned to Need for Speed 2015 in that way, where the tuning actually is a lot more in-depth. In 2015, if you had a good tune, you could absolutely destroy. And I feel like it's kind of similar in this, to be honest. Nothing like Payback. Nothing like Payback. Like, definitely a nod to 2015 over Payback. Anyway, with that being said, don't understeer. 500 yards remaining. We're coming in with a time of 3:04.5, I think that was. 3:04.52. Right, so on road. So as we can see there on the performance matrix, things go a bit closer to road instead of off-road. I believe race was just kind of in the left side. So it's going to be interesting. Should be better on road, obviously. Like the pro level parts and suspension and differential and tires and even like the transmission and the turbo combinations, like all of that makes for a really intricate system, which I think a lot of people gloss over just because it is Need for Speed. This is feeling quite good, actually. Wow. I'm not sure if that's me micro drifting there a little bit. That's an advanced technique for all you real gamers. I can't remember who said this, and I'm not sure the validity to these comments, but I did hear in the comment section someone said if you add certain performance parts to your car, it actually makes an all-wheel drive car rear-wheel drive. And I don't know how the validity to those claims. I don't know if that's true. Maybe that's something I should test in a video. But this definitely doesn't feel as understeery as it did when it was stock. Not at all. That might be a combination of the parts I have installed, but again, it's very interesting that someone would go ahead and say. Now, I don't know if that was just a stupid internet comment or whether people actually, whether that's an actual thing. Definitely feels like it has a rear bias. I say that as I understeer into the source.
Come on, ya beauty! Come on! You got this!
Whenever the PvP update comes, and I really do hope it is going to be in January, I've got a video talking about the state of Need for Speed coming in the next week or so over the Christmas break. Because who doesn't love a bit of Need for Speed chat during the Christmas break? I hope it does come in January. It has to come in January. But I do genuinely believe if, like, you're a good enough player. Oh, shit. I do genuinely believe, like, if you're good enough, you can murk in almost any of the cars. Like, you know, last night when we were doing the Undefeated Racing League, I was using a GT2 RS, which is not even remotely close to being an overpowered car, but you know, I wasn't finishing like low in the leaderboards. The only thing that is going to be a worry when proper multiplayer comes in this game is the netcode. That is going to be very, very weird. This R32 though, it's putting in a graveyard shift right now. You get it? Because that was in a Need for Speed payback. Mac is back and he's going to hit you. I'm not about to finish what I was about to say there. Oh, close there. Coming into the final lap with a 2:03. So just to let you guys know, the time to beat is a 3:04, and that was with the race tyres. I'd say this lap has been pretty consistent. I've played to the best of my ability, the same as I did in the race one. So we're going to see where this ends. I'm not actually sure, to be honest. It's definitely feeling faster. Oh, there's a very poor entry. But we're coming in. 3:04 is the time to beat, and we did a 3:03.95. Now, if you want me to be honest, I probably could have got about half a second off that, I think. If I could probably do that again and get another half a second off. We'll leave that there for now. We can come back to it after if there's a little bit of an anomaly in the results. So, Track Pro suspension, you can see the difference between this and race. It kind of goes a little bit more off-road suited, which is actually a little bit weird. I don't know why it goes up, but we're going to go ahead and press it. We're going to see what happens. I've got a feeling my favorite, I think I already know my favorite is going to be on road, but we're going to wait to see the time, see if there's any big difference. It's either going to be on road or track soup. Okay, that drifts a hell of a lot more than the last pair we used. Okay, so we're going to try to take this corner. This is one of the high-speed corners of the track, and it just doesn't keep the pace up quite as well. It definitely loosens the back end a little bit up through the corners. Right, so we just came into the first lap with a 1:05. Again, coming through the high-speed corner again. Oh, it's definitely keeping the speed, but you can kind of see there as I was turning, it was understeering. Right, we're coming in to the final lap. That is honestly feeling really fast. 2:04. So this basically needs a sub 1 minute time to come anywhere close to the on-road suspension. So this suspension definitely is definitely a track, you know, suspension setup. Do I prefer it over on-road? I think on-road just lets the car play around a bit more. If you're using a setup where, you know, the car is sliding too much, I think track will probably be the better choice for you. The R32 isn't one of those cars that is playing around, it's drifting all the time. It's one of those cars that is pretty planted, which is it's why I think I'm led to believe that on-road might be a little bit better. We're coming in there with a 3:04.4. I think that's accurate for this specific car. We're going to go ahead and make a note of that. I think that's accurate for this car. It's all-wheel drive, so you got to take that into account. If you're using rear-wheel drive cars, I think track suspension would definitely be better on your specific cars. And we are going to do a ultimate build series at some point in the future on other cars, not just the R32. Now, in logic, this should be the fastest, really. And you know what? I actually wouldn't be surprised if it is. Now, this isn't something you will know till you actually test the game, and you will need to try these out for yourself. I will give a recommendation at the end of this video, but let's first go ahead and see what time this gets. This should do the best. Right, so let's go ahead and see this. Now, due to my tires and my diff, etc., this is nowhere near as planted as it would be if it was all track only. Look at that. We're going to take the high-speed corner here, and as you can see, absolutely planted, no skid, absolutely nothing. You have to really encourage it to get into a slide. This could be the fastest. Logically, you'd think that this is the fastest, but I don't know. Right, full lock to the left here. You can see it's still turning, and we're coming in there, first lap, 1:03. Wow, that's quite good. Oh my god, look at that angle. I just took that in, man.
Pete, please nerf.
You won't believe how fast this track suspension is. If this doesn't get the fastest time, I'm gonna pull my confused face. Right, so we're coming into the back straight here. This is looking like it has absolutely smashed it. 3:03.9 is the time to beat. This hasn't just smashed it. It's absolutely annihilated it. 3 minutes. Dead. Boy. 3 minutes. That is fucking crazy, bro. Now, like I said earlier, I do think I could set a better time in on-road, but I don't think I could get any lower than a 3:03 or a 3:02.5. It is quite clear, at least for the suspension on this car, use super track. Now, this isn't going to be the same for every other car. If you find that your car is actually, you know, in need of a little bit less grip, have a mess around with some of the pro options. They're not actually that bad. But I do think for this car specifically, it really does benefit from having that track suspension. It just gets rid of all the slide. I hope this video has been useful to you. If it has, hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome day. Stay safe and peace.